My name is Claire Davidson, and for 6 years, I've been the family's cautionary tale, the less impressive sibling in the shadow of Marcus Davidson. Marcus, Tech Wunderkind, Forbes 30 Under 30 honoree, hailed by TechCrunch as a must-watch innovator, was everything our family worshipped: brilliant, magnetic, and unapologetically ambitious. His company, Marcus Tech Solutions, created AI-based software to streamline supply chains for Fortune 500 clients. By 32, MTS had contracts with 7 major corporations and a valuation of $380 million. To everyone else, Marcus was unstoppable. To my parents, he was perfection. To the press, he was the next Elon Musk. And to Marcus? I was a clueless kid. Claire's dabbling in business, he'd announce at family dinners, his tone dripping with superiority. She's got a tiny online consulting thing. Cute. G was his favorite nickname for me. What Marcus didn't know, what no one in our family knew, was that my modest-sounding business was actually Meridian Capital Partners, a venture capital firm I founded 4 years earlier. We invested in early and mid-stage tech companies with scalable, solid fundamentals. Our portfolio spanned 19 companies across 6 industries, with $890 million under management and a personal net worth of $47 million. And the anonymous investor behind Marcus Tech Solutions' $120 million Series C funding, which saved his company from financial collapse 2 years ago. That was me. I'd funneled the money through layers of shell companies, ensuring Marcus would never suspect that his little sister was keeping him afloat. Not out of malice, but to see if he could succeed on merit alone. And, selfishly, to see if he could ever recognize me as more than a failure. 6 years of waiting proved he never would. Marcus was always the golden child. 3 years older than me, effortlessly talented, top of his class, debate captain, MIT scholarship, and by 25, he'd sold his first startup for $8 million. I was the odd one. Numbers fascinated me, but quietly, patterns, risk assessment, financial strategy. While Marcus was delivering TED Talks, I was poring over SEC filings and dissecting balance sheets. I went to a state school, earned a finance degree, and started as a junior analyst making $52,000 a year. Marcus earned that in a week. Family gatherings cemented the hierarchy. Marcus dominated conversations, recounting meetings and fundraising wins. When I tried to speak on finance, he would smile indulgently. Claire's learning about business. Cute that she's interested. Mom would nod approvingly. Marcus knows business. You should listen. So, I listened. And I learned. By 26, I'd saved $180,000, invested $150,000 in a tiny logistics software firm, and 18 months later, it was acquired for $34 million. My share? $2.8 million. I quit my job and launched Meridian Capital Partners. The first 2 years, I worked solo from my apartment. I invested methodically in boring, but profitable companies: cybersecurity, healthcare analytics, sustainable manufacturing. By year 3, the portfolio was worth $24 million, and I hired Daniel, a forensic accountant with FBI experience. Year 4, I raised $180 million from external investors who valued my disciplined, data-driven approach. And that's when Marcus unknowingly re-entered my orbit. It was Thanksgiving, and he was bragging about MTS Series C round, $150 million, 3 interested firms. What he didn't know, but I did, was that MTS was 3 months from bankruptcy. Their burn rate was insane, major clients were slipping away, and the supposed investors weren't actually investing. I structured a $120 million investment via a maze of shell companies. Meridian Capital funneled the money into MTS anonymously. I also placed Sarah Chun, an operations expert, and Robert Martinez, a turnaround CFO, on the board. They fixed Marcus's financial chaos, reduced burn, renegotiated contracts, and restructured operations. 18 months later, MTS was profitable, and Marcus took all the credit. Meanwhile, I quietly built my empire. By year 5, Meridian managed $620 million across 23 companies, consistently outperforming the market. I hired a team who shared my philosophy: steady, sustainable wins over flashy unicorn hunts. My net worth topped $40 million. I bought a penthouse, drove a Tesla, dressed in designer suits, but at family dinners, I drove my old Honda, wore Target jeans, and let Marcus shine, conducting an experiment to see if anyone would notice. They never did. Marcus was the success story. I was still figuring things out. Last Christmas, my aunt asked about my online business. Yes, I replied. That's nice, dear. Good to have hobbies. Hobbies? I thought. My $47 million hobby. Marcus overheard. Claire's dedicated, he said, kindly condescending. I keep telling her to work at MTS, but she values independence. I like what I do, I said. Fast forward 6 months, Marcus invited the family to his quarterly investor meeting, boasting, "Come see real business in action. Might inspire your consulting thing." I attended, curious. MTS glass conference room was full. Marcus presented growth, profitability, expansion, taking full credit for the strategies Sarah and Robert had executed. When an investor asked about family support, Marcus gestured to me. "Claire's trying her own thing. It's cute." The room chuckled. I smiled. Nobody saw the real story. I was running the show. Marcus was just the poster child. "Look at the supportive big brother, gently teasing his struggling little sister," Marcus said, smirking, as if he'd delivered the funniest line of the decade. I stayed perfectly still in my chair. "My sister's dabbling in online entrepreneurship," he continued, pacing with practiced flair. "Maybe someday she'll create something that actually matters." Laughter erupted around the room. I nodded quietly. Understood. Nobody noticed me. Their attention was on Marcus, who had already moved on. I endured the rest of the meeting, another 90 minutes of Marcus claiming credit for work done by others, boasting about a company that existed only because I had kept it alive. When it finally ended, the room dissolved into networking. Investors shook his hand, family members offered congratulations, and Marcus floated effortlessly through it all. I slipped out silently, got into my car, and drove straight to my office. Once there, I opened my laptop and drafted an email to Daniel, my forensic accountant. Subject: MTS investment withdrawal. Daniel, prepare all necessary documentation to withdraw Summit Ventures investment in Marcus Tech Solutions. Total: $120 million principal plus accrued returns. Full liquidation. Timeline: 48 hours. Notify our lawyers for the upcoming board meeting. Sent. Then I dialed Sarah Chin. "Sarah, it's Claire." I saw the meeting. "Quite the performance," I said calmly. "I'm pulling our investment." "All of it." 48 hours. A pause. "Claire," Sarah said carefully, "you control 31% of the company. If you pull out, MTS collapses. Other investors will panic. Clients will reconsider their contracts. The company will be bankrupt within a week." "I know. Is this because of what he said today?" "This isn't about a single comment. It's 6 years of him treating you like you're worthless while you were keeping the company afloat." A quiet acknowledgement followed. "I understand," Sarah said. "We'll step down with you. Robert and I only took these positions because of you. If you're done, we're done." "Thank you." "He had this coming," she added. I hung up. Monday morning, Daniel sent the formal withdrawal notice to MTS CFO and board. Summit Ventures, as Series C lead, had the right to pull out under specific contractual clauses. Thanks to some carefully written provisions I had insisted on, misrepresentation of stakeholders qualified as a breach. Marcus calling me financially clueless in front of 70 investors, that counted. 48 hours. That's all Marcus had before his empire began to crumble. I didn't hear anything for the first 24 hours, but Daniel updated me every 6 hours. 1 to 6, CFO received notice, emergency board meeting scheduled. Hours 6 to 12, board convened, Sarah and Robert explained the withdrawal. Hour 12 to 18, CFO ran the numbers. 4 weeks of runway, maybe 6 with severe cuts. Hour 18 to 24, panic calls to other investors, nobody would provide bridge funding. A lead investor pulling out signals disaster. Hour 36, 3 other investors sent withdrawal notices. Hour 42, a Fortune 500 client paused their contract. At hour 47, Marcus finally called. I let it ring 4 times before picking up. Claire, he said, voice tight. We need to talk. About what? I asked calmly. My company. Our lead investor is withdrawing. I don't understand, I need your help. My help? I kept my tone neutral. Marcus, remember, I'm financially clueless. I play entrepreneur online. How could I help? Silence. Claire, this isn't the time for. For what? Jokes? You mocked me in front of 70 investors. I'm following your lead. I didn't mean anything by it, he pleaded. It was banter. I don't do investor meetings, I said. My business doesn't have them. Please. My company is in crisis. Investors are pulling out. Clients are nervous. I need someone I can trust. Talk to mom and dad. They believe in you. Claire, that's exactly what you said in your presentation. They don't understand business like you do. From where I sit, your company is collapsing. You don't understand why. That's not fair. You're right. Fair would have been pulling my investment 4 years ago, when I realized you were driving the company into the ground. He was silent. Summit Ventures isn't anonymous. Marcus, it's Apex Holdings. Apex is owned by Meridian Capital Partners. The line went quiet. You? Me? The financially clueless sister? Yes. I have $47 million personally, Meridian manages $890 million in assets. The boring VC firm nobody notices because we focus on profits over press coverage. You never said anything. Why? So you could mock me and take credit for my work? 6 years, Marcus. You never once asked about my life, my business, my efforts. He was silent for a long time. I'm sorry, he whispered. You're not sorry. You're scared. There's a difference. Claire, please. You can't destroy my company. Employees, clients, investors. Other investors are already leaving. The 380 employees will find better jobs with competent leadership. 48 hours, Marcus. That's how long you have. He begged, I refused. Texts flooded in, calls rang. I ignored them all. Dinner with my partners came first. Thursday, I arrived at MTS for the first time. Chaos. Executives rushing, staff crying at desks, phones ringing non-stop. Reception barely looked up. Conference room C, 3rd floor. Elevator up. Daniel, legal team, Sarah Chin, Robert Martinez waiting. Marcus at the head of the table, disheveled, bloodshot eyes. Claire, he said, voice barely audible. I sat. Let's begin, I said. Daniel opened his laptop. As per the withdrawal notice, Meridian Capital Partners, via subsidiaries, is exercising the right to withdraw $120 million invested capital plus $18.44 million accrued returns, total $138.44 million. Slides showed MTS assets versus liabilities. Without Meridian's capital, insolvency was inevitable. Additional slides showed other investors withdrawing $43 million, and 2 major clients terminating contracts, $34 million lost. Marcus looked at me desperately. Claire, there must be a way. I leaned back. Marcus, tell me, what value do you bring? What do you actually do? I'm the CEO. I built this company. You built software. I rescued it 6 years ago. You created solid software, I said evenly. And then you raised capital, overhired, spent recklessly, and nearly bankrupted the company before I stepped in. I pulled out a folder and laid it on the table. Do you know what Sarah and Robert have been doing for the last 2 years? I asked. He looked at them, bewildered. They've been running your company, I stated flatly. Every cost-cutting move, every strategic pivot, every client negotiation, they reported to me, Marcus, not to you. His face drained of color. You've been controlling my company, he whispered. I've been saving your company, I corrected. You're a terrible operator who makes ego-driven decisions instead of data-driven ones. I opened the folder and spread the documents. March 2022, you wanted to hire 50 engineers for a blockchain integration no client asked for. Sarah killed it. July 2022, you approved $2.88 million for a Super Bowl ad. Robert cut it to $400,000 for targeted digital campaigns. January 2023, you committed to a $40 million office expansion. Sarah renegotiated it to save $31 million. You signed off thinking these were your decisions. Decision after decision, document after document, I laid out 2 years of my puppeteering. Every smart choice MTS made was actually mine. Every disaster you avoided was because I stopped you from making catastrophically bad ones. Marcus stared at the papers. And you never realized, I continued, because you were too busy taking credit, doing interviews, and telling everyone how you turned the company around. I didn't know, he muttered. Of course you didn't. You never looked beneath the surface. You assumed that suddenly your reckless ideas were turning into better plans because you'd gotten smarter. I stood. The company didn't improve because of you. It improved in spite of you. And now, I'm done propping you up. Claire, please, he pleaded. I know I was dismissive, condescending. I'm so sorry. But don't destroy everything over that. I'm not destroying anything, I said calmly. I'm withdrawing from a company with incompetent leadership. That's what any intelligent investor would do. What if I step down? He asked desperately. I'll resign as CEO. You can bring in someone competent. Just don't pull the funding. I regarded him. Who would you suggest? I don't know. You probably have someone in mind. Someone who actually knows what they're doing, someone not financially clueless, I said, letting the words land. He flinched. Marcus, I said, the issue isn't just that you're a bad CEO. The issue is that for 6 years, you treated me like I didn't matter. 6 years without respect, without asking about my life, without seeing me as anything but your inferior. I know. I'll change. I swear I'll change, he said. You'll change because your company is collapsing, not because you care about me. That's not enough. I nodded to Daniel. Process the withdrawal. Wait, Marcus said, standing. What if I give you the company? The room froze. What if I give you majority ownership? He continued frantically. You said I'm a bad operator. Take over. Run it your way. I'll work under you. Just don't let it die. I studied him. He was sincere, cornered, desperate. How much? I asked. Majority. 51%. No. 60%. Whatever you want. I glanced at Sarah and Robert, he already knew the calculations. 73%. Done. Full operational control. You remain CEO in title only. Every decision goes through me. Fine. Whatever you need, he muttered. And you'll publicly acknowledge I've been your lead investor for 2 years and am now taking an active role in company management. You mean reveal I was the anonymous investor? I mean tell the truth. That your little sister, with her cute online business, has been keeping your company alive while you took the credit. Silence. Then, okay. I'll do it. I turned to the attorneys. Draft the paperwork. Transfer 73% ownership to Meridian Capital Partners with full operational control. Restructure the board. And Marcus takes a salary of $180,000, same as when I started in the industry. Earn your way back. His jaw tightened. Fine. Sarah, Robert, promotion. Sarah, President of Operations, $450,000 package. Robert, CFO, same package. You report directly to me. And Marcus, I said, if you ever publicly dismiss me or my team again, I will destroy everything left. Understood? Crystal clear. Daniel, finalize everything by COB today. I packed my bag. Claire, Marcus said, thank you for not letting it die. I didn't do this for you. I did it for the 380 employees who actually work hard and because the technology matters, even if you don't. The news broke the next day. TechCrunch, Marcus Tech Solutions undergoes dramatic restructuring. Founder's sister revealed as major investor. Forbes, the silent backer. Claire Davidson builds $890 million VC firm while brother takes credit. Business Insider, family drama in Silicon Valley. Investor saves brother's company, then takes it over. Articles were ruthless, highlighting my track record, interviews with other founders, and the returns. Marcus answer in Forbes. No. I never asked. I assumed she was struggling, and I treated her accordingly. I'm grateful she saved the company, and I'm sorry I never saw her clearly. Restructuring was swift. I became executive chairwoman. Sarah and Robert handled operations. Marcus remained CEO in name only. Within 3 months, the company stabilized. Investors returned, clients renewed, and a $40 million Series D closed at $520 million valuation. Marcus learned what it meant to work under someone else and to be challenged. 8 months later, Marcus called. Claire, dinner? Not business. Just siblings. Why? I asked. Because after working for you, I realized I don't know you. What you care about. Who you are outside of work. I want to know. We met at a small Italian restaurant. No business talk. He asked questions for the first time in years. What made you start a VC firm? What's your investment philosophy? What do you enjoy? What's hardest about it? He listened. Didn't interrupt. Didn't one-up. Just listened. He paid the bill. I know you're wealthier than me now. Let me get this one. Okay. Walking to my car, he said, I can't undo 6 years, but I'll try to do better, not just at work, as a brother. That would be nice, I said. I'm proud of you. I should have said it years ago, but I am. 2 years later, MTS went public at $1.8 billion valuation. My 73% stake, $1.314 billion. Marcus stake, $234 million. At NASDAQ, Marcus insisted I stand next to him. This is Claire Davidson, he told cameras. My sister, executive chairwoman, and the reason this company exists. Mom and Dad pulled me aside. We had no idea, Mom said, tears in her eyes. I wanted you to ask, I said simply. Dad hugged me. We see you now. We're proud. Marcus and I now have monthly sibling dinners. We discuss books, movies, politics, investments. We argue, advise, and listen. We're not best friends. But we're siblings, and that's worth more than $1.3 billion. Though, admittedly, the $1.3 billion doesn't hurt.